say it all. Either got it or you don't. You either stand or you fall. When your will is broken, when it slips from your hand, when there's no time for joking, there's a hole in the plan. Oh, you don't mean nothing at all to me. No, you don't mean nothing at all to me. But you got what it takes to set me free. Oh, you could mean everything to me. I can say that I'm not lost and found. I can say that I don't love the light and the dark. I can say that I don't know that I am alive and I love what I feel. I can show you tonight, you tonight. Oh, you don't mean nothing at all to me. No, you don't mean nothing at all to me. But you got what it takes to set me free. Oh, you could mean everything to me. From my hands, I could give you something that I made. From my mouth, I could sing you another breath that I made. From my body, I could show you a place. God knows, you should know, space is holy. Do you really wanna go?
Okay, I have listened to your entire proposal. I will help your people and have already made efforts towards sending a guide to help your people map out ways and pathways to survive. I have sent Spider-Woman with instructions to give your forefathers this map and migrational trail to follow, along with aquifer air duct designs to purify their air while they must hide from the poisonous air. However, I must add this for you to listen and understand. All things come with a beginning and an end. You must come to terms with this and accept that you all need to prepare for what cannot be avoided. If any of you hope to survive beyond the inevitable death of this planet, then you must forge a way into the stars. To do this, you must decide and regulate the resources you have available. Unless you can design a purely synthetic energy source that can not only achieve high-speed interstellar travel but maintain all the needs on board each ship, including atmosphere regulators, artificial gravity, air quality synthesizers, nutritional supplements, navigation systems and overall ship maintenance. That is just a rough overall necessity. Basically, if mankind is to survive the inevitable, he must forge a path to that and not lose hope or focus. Left and right, I am seeing religion being misused to slow mankind's progress forward. In today's times, these words are like nails on the chalkboard of hope. Sure, we may survive this purification, but what will happen when one day this planet gives up its final breath and that final hour is upon us? For that is what we seem to face now. Even your prophecies hint at this being the last cycle and there being no other after this. To follow these words now would be asking us all to abandon our common sense. However, also, I must remind myself of what times we live in, as I have watched every other religious document become changed to fit the ideals of others' agendas. I cannot help but be suspicious of whether this document has also been altered to suit the same. Small discrepancies such as the description of the disasters occurring today were not occurring in 1993, especially to detail them so well. Honestly, I smell a trap brought on by the same deceptive sources that I've heard are manipulating these prophecies to hold their elite status over the people as everything else falls apart. A guiding hand that shackles and binds. That, and my gut feeling is nervously uncertain and adds to this feeling. Nevertheless, I shall help your people. Whether that is who deliver these words or not makes no difference, because I have seen and know the plight of these people. However, technically their homeland was a bit further north in the upper Canadian regions. These lands that Americans claim as theirs was not exactly your lands, not even then. If I remember the maps correctly, this region was called the Barren Lands or the Lands of Exile. No one claimed these lands because nothing would grow on it. The only one to have advanced his borders back then would have been the one whose lands are now beneath the sea, along with the Valley of Shadows that entered his kingdom from the east. The lands where no living man has walked into and returned alive, whose air is poison. The land of the dead that lies beyond the great mountain in the easternmost border. The lands of my mentor, Mike, the Necromancer Lord. He advanced his kingdom's gates up to the region of the Colorado Superstition Mountains. That is why it is the way it is there. In case you aren't aware, the prison that held him that was in the New Zealand region. There, mystical locks that held him there have faded and it eroded not too long ago. Meaning his time was up and he has been released, so just an FYI that's a bit delayed. But you're Malik, son of darkness and enemy to all the nations of the world. You know the old song and dance. He's been out for some time now, a few years I think. I've learned what happened to him. The Elder Council knew he was possessed by that shadow thing, this friend, or whatever it is, and cast him into the forbidden realm with it. Then ensured it stayed sealed by devising the story to cover the truth, that they sent a man of honor, Nikhil, to his eternal doom and sealed him in by locking the door with no spell to unlock it, until now that is maybe, but it does no good now, but there may be others. They may have no spell that unlocks them, yet but considering my method of writing spells, I could always write a spell to unlock them. Open the bottomless pit and return to the surface with my ant-like army of your worst nightmares and migraines, that gnashes with teeth in the darkness, has a tail like a scorpion and the mark of God upon their forehead. But if you all really want to play games and see how evil I really can get, how wrathful I really can be, I can just say once again that all things have a beginning and an ending. No, if you keep pushing me, this can all come to an end. Just as I made everything that is, since I designed and made this place and all that's in it, then it is up to me to decide when that end shall be. Remember, creation was just a project for me. It has to come to an end sometime, and everyone just flips out when they think about that, but it is true. So how about this? Wrap your head around my design for the end of existence. First, understand we are talking about everything ending, from beginning to end. Everything that is, was and will be will just cease to exist. Every moment of every second will suddenly cease to be. The you now, the you 10 seconds ago, the you when you were a teenager and all that was before you were born, along with everything that could and will be, ceases to exist. And I go back up to heaven and decide what to do next. So don't lead me towards thinking on this any further, cause I will turn this project off like a TV screen, so don't push me. Ahem, sorry, another dark spirit there. As I was trying to say, despite the suspicion, I will help you out anyways. Not because you deserve it, but because you have suffered. Your people have given all that they had to follow through, so though I cannot stand by you in this struggle for ending technology and returning back to the ways of the earth, to do so would be to give up and accept extinction. I am not willing to do that, neither should anyone else. We must persevere, despite who I am or what I've done. I came here to mold myself from your wisdom, because out of all the other worlds, this world, and becoming one of you, gave me the best possible aspects to become who I needed to be. Despite your many ages of war, greed and self-annihilation, your profound grasps of the universe you have and still have yet to realize, and considering I knew all that would be achieved and reached in your wisdom here, that I made a decision to come here to mold a part of myself from it. That is why I chose Earth. That is why I chose humanity and have always nurtured your drive to reach your highest potential possible. But all things must come to an end, and if you refuse to continue to reach for survival, then how am I supposed to help any of you? This is one of those moments when the path before you seems like the wrong choice, but if you look beyond tomorrow and see the greater picture, you can see the very reachable goal that leads to what seems impossible from where you are. I saw in a video a phrase that said, would you rather die as God fighting to be the immovable object to that unstoppable obstacle? Or would you rather die on your knees begging without trying to make a stand? Now there are no other gods above me and all, and most of the gods I know stand beside me as brothers in arms, and as a brotherhood there are none higher or lower than the other. When we stand together. We discipline each other when we cross a line, as an older brother would scorn his younger brother when he has done something wrong. Maybe you all have forgotten the way of the warrior, or do not remember the blood bond and what that truly means. A blood bond is a union between two warriors. Whatever is one brother's, so too is it the other's. What is theirs is shared if needed. No questions, no rejection, though whenever that brother is needed. It is a pact of faith that no matter what, there will always be someone by your side. You face no obstacle alone. Saraswati was not wrong. I did come here to learn all I could of the wisdom attained in life, for that is the source of my lives. As far as the Asura look on, I am, we must wait until 2025 at the end of the 3.5-year period of the Gentiles in Afghanistan. It began when the Taliban took that region after shooting the place up, and everyone had to evacuate the region. The reason we are to wait is because at this time his closest allies will be turned against him. Nothing is needed to be done, simply let them play out their parts and keep the innocent safe. He will come to wear out their loyalty with his schemes and his nervousness to his foretold defeat, and fall into destruction and cease to be. His allies will be so upset with what they discover between now and then that not only will they not support him, they will help us willingly by binding him and holding him down, for they are the eternal chains that will bind him in the end and tossed into the lake of fire. So it is written to be above. Once he is bound, then I shall come in to administer his last rites and perform the ritual of a Sanita, that will absolve him of his sins that hold him down. Now I was going to have a warrior I had trained to consume his sins for a short time, while I escort him to the place where I saw the man with the golden book at the gates of heaven, where he shall stand with a clean slate and unable to be predispositioned anywhere, because it will be like a clean slate for him. However, when this process occurs, the Sanita only holds on to those last confessionals until the Lord sends his angel to come and cleanse the spirit of the Sanita by collecting those sinful deeds up to the Lord to be properly set upon the one who stands before him for judgment. The main factor that can be understood here by man is this. When he died, he was given no proper burial because he was betrayed by his own priests and court. At that time it was their way to handle these things by denying some with no funeral or burial at all, and their spirits would wander the desert with no afterlife to go to, and he has haunted that region ever since. The ones who suffered most were the people who his personal guards who chased him down had come from, who became the people of Islam, and he haunted them under the guise of ibis and drove their prophet Muhammad mad one day when he possessed him and had him dancing on the rooftops. He had them take down the harsh and brutal laws of their culture in revenge for his guards' betrayal. But after Malik was sent as a force of evil greater than he could handle and tricked Muhammad into taking a tour of hell, trapping him in their infernal realm, while Muhammad just walked through unharmed, for he did not belong there. But the thing that should concern you is that he was, by blood, once one of you. And I see now why Elijah has been brought into this, for he was a witness to the survivors of one of your people's migrating tribes, and they gave them refuge in their town, but Elijah didn't trust them because of their wild natural earth nature and strong faith in the animals' skins they wore that they believed protected them. Before Sargon became the conqueror and ruler of the first empire in recorded history, he was just a small boy at the time of Elijah. One night a raiding party of Scythian bandits came down from the north and attacked the village Sargon had taken refuge in. They killed his parents, and that was the way back. Then they took the boy into bondage, where he was sent into the mines to work, but eventually he won the right to become one of the raiding party bandits that set him on the path of becoming Sargon the Conqueror. But that was his origin, and why your people should take an interest in this, for he has haunted the people of that region for 5,000 years now and is the source of the problems there. He is very skilled and can control large numbers of possessed soldiers as he did with the Taliban. Whether they realized it or not, the position they had taken in Afghanistan was right outside the area of his tomb. There his unbound spirits linked to this world, the final resting place of his body live. His bones have lightly turned to dust, but the saturation of his spirit still lingers. Plus he has created conduits through his followers that he uses like a poltergeist to maintain his hold in this world, and that is how he continues to elude you all. On top of it, he may be the source behind what designed the Annabelle doll and other cursed and haunted objects. However, his tomb cannot be reached by any normal means. I must be there to bridge the gap into the abyssal realm where I cast him into. Now these plans are peaceful in intention, for neither I nor anyone else have been appointed to bear any judgment upon him, for that is for the Lord to decide. I am only to escort him to the gates. Those are my commands. If he should continue to be a problem, then God will come himself, he said, and destroy him and all who are tied to him and his little kingdom on earth. That is the gist of what I know and can speak openly about, for nothing I've said here is nothing he...
אני צריך שתחטוף את האנשים האלה: ראובן, שמעון, לוי, יהודה, דן, נפתלי, גד, אשר, יששכר, זבולון, יוסף ובנימין, בין השנים 586 עד 597 לפני הספירה, ולהגדיל אותם גנטית עם כישורי השיפור הקינטי כמו שעשית עבורי, רק לא חזק. 12 האנשים האלה יהפכו לבסיס שממנו עוד ליום אחד ושג את מטרתי ואת יצירת העבר קואורדינטות לקליטת אותות על ידי אלגוריתם משובץ שניתן לכל אחד מהנביאים, ומטרתם ללמד את הדרך שיכולה להוביל כל אחד מבני עמם דרך אסונות מתועדים כלי יזמים גדולים שהתרחשו באזור מיקומם של השבטים, ללמד אותם שיטות שיכולות לתת להם אותות אזהרה מוקדמים על כל סוג של אסון, כך שהם יכולים ללמד את האנשים שלהם איך לשרוד מעבר לאסון עד לתקופת צליבתו של הושע של הנצרת. עם זאת, שמרו את באומנות ההקרנה מחוץ לגוף עבור האנשים הללו: חנוך, יחזקאל, אברהם, משה, דניאל, ישעיהו, זכריה, יוחנן, שם, דוד, סרגון ואחיו של הושע, ג'יימס, שימשיך וימסור את הקלפים האחרונים שלו. אחים מלמדים לסופרים שמחכים לאחיו במוסד. הוא יעשה זאת בשל אשמתו של אחיו שתפס את מקומו על פשט תנועתו המסורתית ליהדות, ובכך הוא יהפוך לכלי תחייתו או לבעל רוחו ברגע שישוב מתקופתו כשילוש במהלך הבריאה. אם אתה לא יכול לאתר אותם, אז חשב תחליפים מתאימים כדי לקבל את השם של זכאותם כנביא. כמו כן, אצטרך שתמסור את מפת ההגירה של 7 שבטי האצטקים לאנשי הדריאס הצעירים יותר לפני האירוע הקטלני שהתרחש בסביבות 74,000 לפני הספירה, כאשר מתפרץ הר טובה. הסבירו להם כיצד לבנות תעלות אוויר של אקוויפר לתוך המערות, כך שיוכלו לסנן את האוויר הרעי לקייטור נושם. עבדו עבורם שיטה מדויקת שתבטיח שהם ישרדו, ותגיידו להם לערוך תיעוד של מה שקרה לכדור הארץ סביבם ולסחוב את זה עד סוף הימים כאן, כשאני בא, כדי שנוכל להעריך את הנתונים שלהם. סיום הודעה.
Then Zafra X Duet, and then that's